Gas station log. It is April 3rd, 2018. I woke up today at about 1 o'clock, but I feel well rested. Once again, today is my island in the middle of the week. Let's go see what happens today at the gas station. Gas station log, and it is about 2:48. So I just got to work, and it is a beautiful day. It's a bit windy, but it is a beautiful, beautiful day. It's so nice. I took my shirt off. Man, we've been selling a lot of ice. Bags of ice. I've been here just not quite a half hour, and I've already sold 3 bags of ice. Everybody wants to take their lovely lady friends out on a picnic. You gotta put ice in the cooler. Either that or they're going fishing. Busy. Gas station log. Oh, it's a nice day. Well, my phone ran out of minutes today, so I have no access to the outside world. I won't be able to afford to get my phone turned back on with minutes and texting and stuff. Until Friday. At least I can still use Wi-Fi. I don't have any right now, but I do at home sometime, most of the time. It works better on my phone than it does on my computer, but... Gas station log. It's 4:55. It's almost 5 o'clock. So I just wanted to point this out real quick. Look how beautiful of a day it is. So this road here, out here, I just want to point out that's 150. This is US Highway 150. Talk about the road rising up to meet you. What's interesting about the 150 is it has gone just about everywhere I've ever lived. So I find it interesting that it would meet me here. So yeah, I find it interesting that I grew up in Morton, Illinois, where the 150 runs right through town. The high school is on Route 150. My grandparents' house was right across the street on 150. It was the main road in and out of town to get to a lot of places. When I went up to Iowa to find my biological family, the 150 ran all the way up there. And when I went down to southern Indiana to find my sister Nikki, the 150 was there. The only place the 150 hasn't been is out in New Mexico, but Route 66 ran out there. It's not quite the same thing, but it was still a nice little touch. And so when I moved down here, well, even before I moved down here, knowing the fact that Route 150 ran down here and came right through this area was like, yep, this is where I'm supposed to be. I work right off the 150. That's the 150 right out there. Gas station log. It's 5:50. And I just got done watching an episode of Law and Order where they attack gun violence. Of course, you're gonna have that on TV shows, but but in the middle of it all, I had an epiphany. It's almost like God explained to me what the real issue is. And it makes perfect sense. Oh my gosh, I've been busy. One person right after another. I couldn't even get 5 minutes in to shoot 150 out here earlier. The reason everybody is vying to take our guns away is because most people in today's world don't want to either trust in people that have guns to be responsible or to accept the responsibility of having and owning a gun. Now, people in the gun culture, people that have grown up with guns all of their life, they understand this responsibility because it's natural for them to. They grew up with guns. They were taught how to use them correctly. they were taught how to be responsible with it. But to all the non-gun owners out there, they see people with guns in their hands as people that are given the power of life and death, and they don't believe that humankind can handle the responsibility of playing God. And it doesn't help that they're being programmed by the liberal media that says, oh, guns are bad. We don't need any good reasons why guns are good. They're just bad. And the whole en masse of people is believing it. Even though for at least the last 200 years since our 250 years since our country's, establishment, gun owners and people that have been raised around guns have always shown responsibility. Just because a few crazy whack jobs fail to prove responsible with their guns doesn't mean that everyone will. In fact, the ratio of gun owners that are responsible with guns greatly outweighs the gun owners that are not. But because so many people believe what they're being told in the media, it slants them to believe that nobody can handle that kind of responsibility and that we should just take guns away because nobody can handle it, which is just simply not true. Likewise, the argument that people exposed to gun violence are more likely to commit it, I can't tell you how many shows I've watched where people got shot, how many mob movies I've seen, the fact that mob blood runs through my veins, and you could say that I'm preconditioned. Plus, I can get really angry and hysterical and go psycho on people if you push me too far. But at the same time, I was never really into guns. I got into guns. I bought a rifle, and despite all of my pre-programming and predisposition, I never wanted to use it. I didn't even want to take it shooting. The sound of the rifle hurt my ears. It was horrific on my ears. Despite all of my pre-programming and predisposition, I wouldn't ever want to have to use guns. I mean, I suppose if I had to, I would. I guess I'd get used to it, but I wouldn't want to. My idea of gun safety is owning a gun and keeping it locked in a safe and leaving it there. That doesn't mean that, we should take our guns away, And that's a whole different can of worms, what happens to a society once you, disarm its citizens. It's jacked up times we live in. We live in jacked up times. Honestly, I really don't care what happens, what laws are legislated, because God is in control. And the sooner we break down and find ourselves in hell, the sooner he's coming back, so it's all good. There's a lot of stupid people, and the only reason I say they're stupid is because they don't have minds of their own. They let the media and everybody else tell them what is and what's right and what the facts are, and it's insane. I'm just saying, you know what? God, just come burn them all down. Let's just end this and live happily ever after with you, because this world is dumb plumb stupid. Gas station log, it's 6:07. So a little bit more on that. One of the reasons why I get so mad at what happens out there and why people allow and defend the way the world is doing things is because it's unjust. I love Jesus' sheep. And when I look out there and I see this mass deception that's going over our world, liberal media trying to program people to think certain ways, and you know what? I'm never gonna buy into it. I will always be able to point it out because the Bible, 2,000 years ago, the writers of the New Testament told us how the world would try and deceive us. It told us how it would do it. And so when I look around and I see the family being broken down, and I see morals being torn like the tapestry off the wall, it makes perfect sense. And I know not to buy into it. I know to see it for what it is, because the Bible has been telling me what it is and what to be looking for, and the Bible has been telling people what to be looking for 2,000 years. It should come as no surprise, and what really makes me mad is the fact that the world is trying to reprogram Jesus' sheep into pawns for their agenda. And that's what pisses me off the most, because I want to take care of Jesus' sheep. And I see myself as a shepherd of Jesus' sheep. I care about the sheep. And when I see this atrocity happening to people, it makes me want to grab the predator that's threatening the sheep and rip it apart with my bare hands. 'Cause that's what David did. And I love David, he's my buddy. I don't care if it's a bear, if it's a lion, or if it's Goliath. I will tear it apart with my bare hands because I love the sheep. And I'm going to protect the sheep. Gas station log. 6:16. Okay, so I just want you all to realize, and many of you will not believe this. You will not believe it. God and His world and His precepts that He has set people to follow, and Satan's attempt to destroy everything that God has set up. God established the family. Look at the problems we have with the family unit in the world today. Satan is trying to destroy it. Marriage was a covenant establishment that God gave people for a man and a woman to be married. And Satan is doing everything he can to try to tear down what marriage is and what it means. And what God has appointed to be sacred, He is trying to profane by making ordinary. Oh, well, anybody can get married. A woman can get married to a woman, and under the guise of being a civil union. The matter of divorce, you don't have, if you get married, you can leave your spouse for any reason that you want, and you can just get a divorce, and it undermines the covenant relationship that God established that men and women are supposed to have with each other. When you get married, it's supposed to be for the rest of your life, but Satan has crept in and whispered in too many people's ears, and so now we make up excuses for why, well, our marriage isn't going to work. Oh, I don't think she was the right person. The only reason she wasn't the right person is because you let something become an excuse for you to not stay committed to that person. And so everything that's happening in the world is just Satan's attempt to undermine that which God has set up and established for people. And we're all just trying to rewrite moral law. Gas station log. It is 7:55. Final thoughts on the day. God is good. Whether you believe what He says in the Bible or not, He's still good. And He loves us. That's why He gave us the Bible, so we can read it and know Him and understand Him and know what He expects and wants of us. Because He loves us so much. He's like a dad with his kids saying, I want to keep you safe. I want you to be happy. Yeah. Yay, Jesus. So from me to all of you tonight, Jesus loves you. good night, and God bless. Gas station log. We are out for the day. Look, it's still a little bit light outside. Yay, buddies! Bye-bye! Night-night!